In this video, we are going to explain the WLAN components, the wireless LAN component. Now, if you decided to implement a wireless network, what exactly do you need? You're going to need a client. This could be a laptop that has a wireless network adapter, or a mobile, or a tab, or a personal computer with a wireless network card. So you need a client. And also you're going to need a wireless router, where this wireless router will be connected to the internet, and he will transfer those traffic to a wireless. And you're going to also need an access point in case you have a big network and it needs to be covered. It cannot be covered with just one wireless router. In most of the cases in our home, we have just one device acting as a wireless router as an access point. Now, so assume that you decided to build a wireless LAN at home. So you went and you bought a wireless router, and you need to configure this router. So in this section, I'm going to show you the configuration, because on the client, no configuration is needed. You just need to connect to the wireless network. So you just scan and connect to the wireless network. But all the setting will be done on the wireless router, or sometimes referred to the access point. So you can do that yourself using one of the simulator, and I'm going to share with you the link that allow you to download the simulator. It's called Cisco Packet Tracer. And Cisco Packet Tracer is a simulator that allow you to build network, wired and wireless, and different kind of component. But on this section, we're only going to focus on wireless, and what is the settings that need to be done on a wireless to build a wireless network, and what is the weakness. I mean, my point here to show you how to build a wireless network, to show you that the first problem that we have on the wireless network is the improper setting. So most people, especially at home, just plug and play. They do not put the right setting on their wireless router or on their access point. And by doing that, anyone can hack to their wireless network. And if someone hacked to your wireless network, it's not just he will be able to access the internet through your network, so he don't have to pay anything. But actually, it's like you are getting an intruder inside your home or inside your organization. He can connect to all the machines connected to this network. He can see what are on those machines, mobiles or computer, and so he can open the cam, he can open the audio. It's like when someone crack your password, your wireless password, or compromise your wireless network, it's like getting an intruder inside your house or inside your organization. So let me show you how the setting is done, and let me show you what is the proper configuration. So if you download this program and install it, it's quite easy to use. And on this program, you will find that we have a wireless router here, where we can configure, and we can also click on a client, take like a laptop, and let's see what configuration we used to do or we should do on a wireless router. So when you go and you buy a wireless router, and you can connect to this wireless router using the web or using a program. And later on, there is a video where I'm going to show you how to connect to your wireless router setting using the web. So once you connect to the wireless, you'll get a similar screen. Maybe option will be like in a different places or with different like interfaces, but it should be the same option. Any wireless router should have the same option. So here we're gonna go to wireless security. Now, what is the first thing that need to be done in a wireless is to assign a network name, and this is not showing here. It's called the SSID, and the SSID is your wireless network name. And this is when you scan a network, like in our case, if I scan here and I found many names, okay, this is the SSID. And SSID, it's mandatory. I mean, you cannot leave it blank. If you leave it blank, it will keep the default. Sometimes you scan using your mobile. So what happens is he will show you a wireless network called D-Link. So that means whoever owns this network did not change the default setting. He kept the default name. And what is wrong with that? What is wrong with that is that if anyone is scanning the network and he finds that you have at your home or at your work a wireless network with the default setting, by that he'll understand that you most probably kept the other default setting like the password and the default account, and he can easily go to some of the websites like this website, for instance, routerpassword.com, and he know now from the names that you have a D-Link router, so he can go to routerpassword.com. I'm going to share by the way also those links in this video, and he can check the brand. Is it a D-Link? Is it a Speed Touch? Is it all the type is here? And once he click on any type, he will be able to find all the accounts, the default account. That most probably, since you kept the default SSID, also the other default password will be kept. Another nice site, it's called defaultpassword.com. But this is not just for the router, but also for any equipment that has a default password. And I believe we explain this part in the password hacking section. So keeping the default SSID or the default network is not recommended. So I can, for instance, here, I can name this one, for instance, test or home or sweet home or company XYZ, whatever, but you should keep the name. Now the second question is, when I put a name on my wireless router and I start scanning using my device, let me like save the setting, okay, and let me try to open my device here. And the device by default here doesn't have a wireless adapter. When you open it, you have to install a wireless adapter. And how to do that? You just can grab this wired like this. Oh, I have to power it off, sorry. This is the power. So you need to remove this network adapter, this wired, and drag this wireless and put it back, and you can turn it on. So this is how you install in a simulator, in Cisco router, Cisco Packet Tracer Simulator, a wireless adapter. And we can go to the desktop, okay, and we can go to wireless, and you can see in wireless, in connect, if you start to connect, he will show you that we have a wireless adapter called test. So by assigning the name, this is the SSID, it will be shown to all devices. Now the second question is, when I assign an SSID to a network and I start scanning with my client like a laptop or a smartphone or a tab, is my smartphone or laptop is the one who's searching for the wireless or for the wireless network or for the wireless router, or is the wireless router the one that announce about itself? Actually, is the wireless adapter that announces it. So when you put an SSID on your router at home or at work, and you name that test, he keep sending something called the beacon, saying, hello, I'm here and my name is test. Hello, I'm here and my name is test, and so on. And what happens is that your client just captures those or this kind of traffic. And by doing that, he knows that there is an access point by the name of test, an access point by the name of XYZ, an access point by the name of ABC, and so on. So one of the good settings that you should consider is that when I'm assigning an SSID and I configure all my devices, my laptop, my smartphone, everything has been configured at home, it will be recommended to go and disable this beacon. So usually when you open your wireless setting, a router wireless setting, you should find that under the SID usually you have an option. It could have a different name. It could be SSID broadcast, beacon, SSID hiding, but they all have the same function to disable the announcement of the SSID. So when you click on disable, now what happens is that all your device will still connected, but if someone from outside your home or your organization are searching, he will not be able to detect that you have a wireless under this name. And if he cannot see it, he cannot hack it. So one of the best practice is to always disable that once you finish configuring your client. So once all your client is connected, you can start disable that. Now the second part, once we finish the basic setting, here as you can see, if you open the client now and you go to the wireless, it will not be seeing. So if you search here, it will not be showing. Actually, some application will show the hidden access point, but at least I make that harder for hacker. I do not provide them everything that easy. So hiding it will be very effective. Second one will be the wireless password. Now we know that we have three different kinds of password. We have web, WPA, and WPA version 2. The question is, are those passwords? I mean, when I'm assigning a web and I'm putting a password, is this a password? Actually, it's not. That's why they're asking you for a key. And even if you try to connect, he will ask you, could you please put the key. So it's not a password. And one good explanation for that all of us will keep the same key. And this is not a password characteristic, that all of us have the same password. But this is actually a key. What is the key? When we try to, or when we use an open access point or open wireless router, he keeps to send and receive in plain text. So if you capture those traffic using any application, it will be showing in plain text. It's not an encrypted traffic. When I'm assigning a key here, what happens is that the access point will now encrypt those traffic and send them. And you still can capture those traffic from air, except it will be encrypted, so it will not be understood. So it's a key, it's not a password. And we have different kind of key. We have the web key and WPA and WPA version 2. Now the web key use a specific encryption called RSA. And RSA actually was a very, very weak encryption. That's why today when we are going to assign a web key, we're going to try that. It will take like 10-15 minutes maximum to be broken. So if you check any network and you found that they have web key, it can be broken 10 minutes. Then the second kind of key that we can use is WPA. And this is also use a RCA encryption, except the key was a little bit bigger. So it still can be broken. Maybe it will be taking a little bit of time, but it can be broken. The final one that we can use is called the WPA2. And in WPA2, it's considered the best encryption because they are using an encryption protocol called AES. And this is used to be very strong. But in this section, I'm going to show you how it can be broken because some misconfiguration was found that allow you to break this one. It will sometimes take a little bit of time, but eventually it can be broken. That's why whatever key you are using, it can be broken. So wireless, eventually it can be compromised. Okay. Now, we are going to notice here that also in the wireless part, we have the web WPA and WPA2, but in WPA and WPA2, we have two different options. We have the personal, where if you choose this one, he's going to ask you just for the key for encrypting the information and decrypting the information. And we have the enterprise. Now, enterprise, it's to add one additional factor for authentication by the mean of, and this is also a recommended solution. That, okay, I have an organization and everyone are holding the key to use the wireless. Now someone has been fired from work. Okay, he can be sitting outside the organization and he can still connect to the network and do some damage. Or I have to change the password and go to change the key and go to everyone and give them a new key. It's not using just the key. It's not a very easy and very effective way, especially for management. to manage the network. Now we can do that in a different way. I can have a server and I can install any Radius application. You can go online and search for any free Radius application. So the Radius, you can install that on any computer. The Radius, it's a program that holds username and password. So when you install any Radius application, many of them are free, you will be requested to assign a username and password for all your organization users. So you can have like 10 user, 1,000 user. You put your name, you create for them username and password. Now next time, and you go to the setting here and you choose that I'm going to use WPA2 Enterprise, and this will be the key. You put the key at the last one, and also you're going to put the IP of this server that has this Radius application. Now everyone who need to log into this network need two authentication right now. They're going to need the key, and they're going to need a username and password that exists on the Radius server. So by doing that, if someone left the company, you just need to delete his account. So even if he holds the key, it's useless. So this is also another way for like securing your wireless. Except the problem is that you're going to have software on a machine dedicated for that. But in some cases, if your organization or holds some important information, you should do that. And actually, you may see that implementing of WPA with Radius in especially like hotels and places like that. So this is the proper setting for the wireless. Putting an SSID, and after adjusting your configuration, disable that. And don't forget, do not keep the default SSID. And on wireless, choose a powerful key. Do not choose web or WPA, because on the next video, I'm going to show you how to break them. And make sure if it's applicable to have an Radius software on one of the machine, and it can be like a different layer of authentication. On the next video, we're going to start with attacks. Thank you.